Imagine a world where the simple joy of getting lost in a story is becoming rarer by the day. That's the reality we're facing, according to a recent study that reveals a startling trend. Reading for fun in the United States has plummeted by 40% over the past 2 decades. This isn't just a minor shift. It's a cultural transformation with far-reaching implications. But here's where it gets concerning. Who is being left behind in this decline, and why? Researchers from the University of Florida and University College London have uncovered some sobering statistics. Between 2003 and 2023, the percentage of Americans engaging in daily leisure reading done outside of work or academic obligations, dropped by roughly 3% each year. In 2004, 28% of respondents reported reading for pleasure on a given day. Fast forward to 2023, and that number has fallen to just 16%. These findings come from an analysis of data collected through the American Time Use Survey, which involved responses from over 236,000 individuals. The study was published in the journal iScience. It's worth noting that the survey's definition of reading wasn't limited to books alone. Newspapers, magazines, and even audiobooks counted toward the tally. Despite this broad scope, the downward trend remains undeniable. Jill Sonke, one of the study's co-authors, described the phenomenon as a sustained, steady decline, adding that it's deeply concerning. Why? Because reading has long been recognized as one of the simplest yet most impactful ways to enhance creativity and improve overall quality of life. As Sonke pointed out, when something so accessible and beneficial starts disappearing from our lives, it represents a significant public health loss. But not everyone is affected equally. Certain groups are experiencing sharper declines than others. For example, Black Americans, people with lower incomes or educational attainment, and those living in rural areas have seen disproportionately large drops in leisure reading. Interestingly, women continue to read for enjoyment more frequently than men. Daisy Fancourt, another co-author of the study, highlighted a troubling irony. Potentially, the people who could benefit the most for their health, so people from disadvantaged groups, are actually benefiting the least. This raises an important question. Are we doing enough to ensure equitable access to reading resources for all communities? Here's a twist, though. While fewer people are reading for pleasure, those who do are diving deeper. The study found that avid readers are spending even more time immersed in their favorite books, suggesting that the passion for reading, though less widespread, remains strong among its adherents. Additionally, the amount of time parents spend reading with their children has remained stable, a small but encouraging sign. So, what's driving this decline? Our increasingly digital culture certainly plays a role. With endless streams of entertainment available at our fingertips, books face stiff competition for our attention. Yet, Sonke emphasized that there's more to the story. Structural barriers, such as limited access to reading materials, economic insecurity, and dwindling leisure time, also contribute to the problem. Consider this scenario. If you're juggling multiple jobs or struggling with transportation challenges in a rural area, making time for a trip to the library might feel impossible. These systemic issues highlight the need for creative solutions to make reading more accessible. Interestingly, last year brought a glimmer of hope for the publishing industry. After 2 consecutive years of declining sales, physical book purchases in the U.S. saw a slight uptick in 2024. Adult fiction led the charge, with Kristen Hanna's novel The Women topping bestseller lists. Could this signal a renewed interest in reading, or is it merely a temporary blip? Only time will tell. On a global scale, the U.S. ranks 36th in literacy rates, with approximately 79% of the population considered literate. While this figure may seem respectable, it underscores the importance of addressing the factors contributing to the decline in recreational reading. After all, literacy isn't just about being able to read. It's about fostering a lifelong love for learning and storytelling. This brings us to a thought-provoking question. How can society reverse this troubling trend? Should schools place greater emphasis on cultivating a love for reading early on? Or should governments invest in initiatives to bring libraries and reading programs to underserved areas? And what role do technology and digital platforms play? Is there a way to harness them to reignite interest in books rather than distract from them? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the decline in leisure reading is reversible, or is it an inevitable consequence of modern life? Share your perspective in the comments below.